Hello and welcome to Budget Beauty, where I help you look flawless for less. Hello and welcome to Budget Beauty. I'm so excited that you clicked on today's video. I'm also very excited for today's video. We're doing a declutter. As I've acquired more and more makeup products over the last few months, and I have acquired a lot of new makeup products over the last few months, especially in the form of eyeshadow palettes, I'm needing to do a little bit of a declutter. There are certain palettes that I've used and didn't care for. There are certain palettes that I don't reach for at all. There's certain makeup products that I hated. And there's also certain makeup products that I just don't reach for. So I decided that what better time than now to do a massive makeup declutter. And what's better yet is one of my real estate clients, if you didn't know, I'm a local realtor. She has a daughter who is 13 who is obsessed with makeup. And I thought, who better to give all of the makeup that I'm decluttering to than my client's daughter? So I have a huge bag of makeup sitting in front of me. I'm going to share with you what items I'm decluttering and why, and this entire stash is going to someone who's going to get a lot of use out of it and give it a lot of love. So before we jump into today's declutter, if you're new or you haven't yet subscribed, I'd love to have you here. Hit the subscribe button and don't forget to ring the bell next to it so you never miss a single video. Give this video a thumbs up if you are here for makeup decluttering, and check out that description box for all of the makeup that I'm wearing today. The palette I have on is the new Lush Life Palette from ColourPop. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. It is amazing. It goes on like a dream. It blends out beautifully. Highly recommend. I'll make sure that everything I'm wearing on my face is linked down in that description box. And don't forget to follow me on TikTok for more beauty on a budget. Let's jump in to this declutter. Here is the bag of makeup. When I said I had a lot, I meant I had a lot. So I'm just randomly going to reach in and share products with you. So the first product is this e.l.f. Cheek and Face Duo. This is in the color Pomegranate. It's a blush and a highlighter. Now I like this. I use this in a full face of e.l.f. makeup. I'll link that video down below for you. I like this product. I just don't reach for it. I have so many blushes and highlighters. And since I've gotten into cream blush, I very, very rarely reach for powdered blush. So I know that she will love having this little bite-sized duo in her collection. Next up is this Illuminati mascara. I actually received this in a subscription box and I hate it. It does not build up very well. I am very particular on my mascara. I generally wear false lashes, but when I don't, I want a mascara that's going to add a lot of volume to my lashes. This one does well on length, but doesn't add a lot of volume. Next are a couple of CoverGirl Makeup Masters powder puffs. I bought this and I only really needed one, so I'm gonna go ahead and give her the other two. AOA liquid highlighter. I did a full face of cheap makeup from Shop Miss A. Everything's under a couple dollars. And there are a few products that I love that I picked up, and this one I'm just not using. I'm really not into cream highlighter, so I'm going to declutter this one. My first palette declutter is this Mystic Aura from Sephora. I hated this palette. Here's the color story. It's really pretty and it actually tells you how to apply the shadows, but they were so patchy and hard to blend. I will say that I liked my overall end look, but they were so hard to work with. I will never reach for this palette. Next is this CoverGirl Clean Foundation. This is in the color 125 Fair. This is just too light for my skin. I've never opened this. I've never used it. It was one that I had in backup. Now that I'm self-tanning so much and I want to continue to self-tan, this is just far too light for my skin tone. Next up is this Tarte blush. It's actually a really pretty color, but like I said, I've really gotten into cream blushes that I'm not reaching for powdered. I've never used this. It's a small sample size that I received in a subscription box. So again, because I'm a cream blush lover, I'm gonna declutter. The Airspun setting powder. I like this setting powder, but I find that for my mature skin, it just makes me look a little bit dry and crepey, especially under my eyes. So I've been using the Laura Mercier setting powder under my eyes and then a more tinted setting powder for my face. This is brand new. I've never used this. And again, I'm just not gonna reach for it. I think it's better served for oily skin or more youthful skin. Next is this Lime Crime Venus 3 eyeshadow palette. I like this color story a lot. I like this eyeshadow palette, but I have so many similar colors that I like better. So I'm going to give her this one. I think that she'll have a lot of fun playing around with it. It goes on really nicely. It blends really nicely. Lime Crime palettes are actually really good quality. I just don't reach for this one because I have so many others that I reach for more. Next is this Morphe 3 shadow palette. It looks like there is a shimmery light brown, a dark brown, and a black. Again, I don't reach for this because I have all these colors in other palettes, and I'm really honestly never going to use the colors out of this one because I have them in other palettes. I have another eyeshadow palette. This is the Orza Beauty Golden Hour Quad palette. Again, really pretty neutral colors. I've never used this. I got it in a subscription box. Again, I have these colors a million times over in other palettes. I have a Dome Cream eyeshadow. This is actually a gorgeous chocolatey brown kind of shimmer color, but I don't like cream shadow. I'm not really into cream products at all unless it's cream blush, so I'm never going to use this. It came in a subscription box. It's a pretty color if it was only a powder. This Hikari Shimmer Bronzer Quad. This is brand new in the packaging. This was my go-to face palette until I discovered other face palettes that I love more. So I won't be reaching for this one. I actually threw the one I had away. I had hit pan on it and just wasn't reaching for it anymore. But this is great for a face palette. It has a blush, a bronzer, and a highlighter. The AOA Studio Fix Contour Stick. This also was part of my Shop Miss A full face of makeup. It's too light for my skin, and I found that it really blended out to virtually nothing. I've never reached for it since. I have so many other contour products that I like much better. Ico Waterproof Mascara. I also received this in a subscription box. I've never used it. I don't do waterproof makeup unless I'm swimming in a pool or a lake, which doesn't really happen very often. And how crazy my life is this summer, I'm never going to use this. So I thought that it would go to someone that would get a little bit of use out of it. Next is this NYX Ultimate Nude Palette. Now, I have used this several times. I also have a full face of NYX makeup. I'll link that video down below for you where I use this palette. This palette is fantastic for a drugstore palette. It's just nudes that I have in other palettes, so I'm not reaching for strictly this nude palette. In fact, I don't reach for nude palettes very often. I wear nude looks, but I much prefer color. So if I can get a palette that has some nudes and some colors, that's a much better option for me, so I'm decluttering. AOA Powdered Blush. This was also from that full face of makeup. I never used this. I ended up using a different blush in that video, but because I'm into cream blushes, the powder blushes are going. This is the eyeshadow palette that I shared in that video. Now, I really like the color story of this eyeshadow palette. What I don't like is it is all shimmer. So it's not something I'm ever going to reach for again. I used it for the eyeshadow look in that video. I like the shimmers, but I don't do a full shimmer look generally, and I have so many other great shimmers that I'm decluttering this palette. I also have this Morphe Large Fan Brush. Now, I had been using this for highlighter, but I'm not reaching for this anymore. I did pick up the Jaclyn Hill Small Highlighter brush. I like it much better. I can get more coverage on my cheeks and go down the bridge of my nose with it. So I'm not going to use the big fan brush. And just for me, this just doesn't work like I was hoping it would for highlighter. I'm also decluttering my Violet Voss All of You Forever palette. Now, I do love the grungy color story of this palette, but I have recently purchased quite a few palettes that have these green grungy tones, and I'm really liking the more jewel tone greens like what I'm wearing today from ColourPop's Lush Life collection, that I'm not reaching for this palette anymore. I will also say that these colors can be a little bit challenging to blend out. Some of them, not all of them, but I do love that grungy color story. I'm decluttering the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Setting Powder. This shade, again, is just way too light for me now that I self-tan, so I'm not reaching for this anymore. This L'Oreal Infallible Lip Color. Now, I have worn this shade forever. Whenever I wear this shade, I get a ton of compliments, but I'm really gravitating now towards more of a nude lip. I've been really into eyeshadows and these fun, vibrant eye looks, so I'm not pairing such a vibrant lip look with those. I'm going more with a nude lip, so I'm decluttering this one. It's brand new. I've never used it. It is an absolutely stunning shade. The L'Oreal Infallible Paint in Moonlust, if you're interested. I also have this little teeny Ulta brand blush duo. This came in my 2021 advent calendar that I had picked up from Ulta, and again, I'm not reaching for powder blushes, and these colors are a little bit light for my skin tone. I'm also decluttering this Natasha Denona Glow Gold highlighter palette. I just don't reach much for the gold highlighters. You can see that I've used these. Where I've used these is on my eyelids for just a one and done eyeshadow look, but I'm not reaching for this anymore. I find too that this doesn't blend very well. I don't know what's up with Natasha Denona, but I haven't been loving her as much as I used to. So this one is being decluttered. I also have the LA Colors Lip Duo. I picked this up at the Dollar Tree for my Dollar Tree full face of makeup. I'll link that video as well for you guys. I like this. It's just that I'm not reaching for it. I have so many lip colors. Again, I'm really focused on more of a nude lip. This one does have a lip color and a gloss. The Milani eyeshadow primer. This was my ride or die eyeshadow primer until I discovered the MAC Paint Pot and Painterly. That is my favorite eyeshadow primer. It's the one that I'm wearing today. I like how it goes on better. I feel like it holds my shadows better and gives my shadow a little more pigmentation than the Milani, so this one's gotta go. I also have an Illuminati brand lip color. Now this is pretty. It's a gold gloss. I'm just not feeling the glittery lips. I don't know what it is, but I haven't been reaching for glittery anything for the lips lately, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. It came in a subscription box. I have this Mary Kay bronzer. This is so old. It's never been opened. It's a shimmery bronzer, and I'm a matte bronzer girl to the hilt, so I'll never use this. It's probably why I never used it the whole time that I've had it. I also have this NYC Sun and Bronze. This is still sealed in the plastic. This is another shimmery bronzer. Again, I'm not gonna reach for it because it's not matte, so I'm gonna declutter this one as well. I have from AOA, from Shop Miss A, Dollar foundation. This is a full coverage foundation. I like this actually. It's just way too light for my skin tone. I used this as concealer in my full face of makeup video because it was so light. I have another bronzer. This is the CoverGirl True Blend bronzer. This is brand new, never been opened. Again, it's a shimmery bronzer. I don't know who I thought I was buying all these shimmery bronzers because I know that I don't like shimmery bronzer. So this one I'm going to declutter as well. I have the Amuse Cosmetics face palette. Also use this in my full face of makeup from Shop Miss A. This is a good palette. It has a blush, a highlighter, and a couple of bronzers. They are not shimmery bronzers. My only issue with this is the colors, especially the blush and highlighter, are just way too light for my skin tone. And I've been loving my Huda Beauty face palette. I actually shared that in my favorites video on my weight loss channel. I'll link my weight loss channel down below if you're not subscribed. I shared that palette in that favorites video, and that's the one I've been using as my face palette. I have a Lancome lip color. Now this is a pretty color. You can see it's just a really bright fuchsia purple. Brand new. I think I got this free with my perfume. I do use a Lancome perfume. Again, I'm here for the nude lip, so I haven't used this, and I'm probably not gonna use this. And last but not least is this Cab eyeshadow palette. Now I received this in a subscription box. You can see that I have used it. I do like the color story. It's a very neutral color story. I do like it. My issue with this palette, number one, is it's neutral, which I have 20 million of, and number two, the shades did not blend very well at all. And this is almost a $50 per BoxyCharm palette. I would never pay $50 for this palette. I like the colors. I don't like how it blended out. I will never reach for this palette, so it is my last declutter of this video. So those are all of the makeup products that I am gifting to my client's daughter. I know that she's going to be so excited. I actually took a picture of all of the products and sent it to her mom, and she was so excited. So I know that these will go to a good home, that they'll get some use. If you like these declutter videos, let me know down in the comments, because as I declutter my makeup collection as time goes on, I will definitely film these videos. And of course, if you liked it, give it a big huge thumbs up. And if you're new or you haven't yet subscribed, I'd love to have you here. Hit the subscribe button and click the bell next to it so you never miss a single video. I do upload a couple times a week, so you don't want to miss out. Again, I'll link all of the makeup that I'm wearing in today's video, all of the videos that I discussed, as well as some of the products that I am using in place of these down in the description box for you. And don't forget to follow me on TikTok for more beauty on a budget. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.